beautiful surprise. Those were my mother's last words to me. It was our last conversation. We knew it would be our last conversation, and that was the last thing that she said to me. And I'm not really sure I understand what she meant. I mean, I know what a surprise is. Unintended, not anticipated. I mean, I was unexpected, but I don't think that that's what she meant. I mean, because that kind of surprise is just once, right? But somehow I think she was referring to a continual surprise, like a surprise that's been happening for the last 50 years. She didn't have a last conversation with anyone else. She didn't have last words for anyone else. So, I'll take it. Well, she's my little sister. I mean, I don't know. It just seems like she never really wanted to be a part of this family. I mean, like, everything she's done is just to, like be separate. Like, she stopped coming to Christmas years ago. But, like, even before that, like, she never bought presents or anything. I mean, it's not like I need a present. Bridget and I, we don't need presents, but our kids. Like, she never sent birthday presents. I mean, I think she's kind of a bitch. I can't light the barbecue, Bridget. I just sat down. Anyways, I mean, Bridget's great. She invites her over for, like, birthdays, like Mom's birthday and Mother's Day and Easter. And Julie comes over. Like, sometimes she'll bring a bottle of wine, but whatever. I mean, she eats the food in our house. Like, whose house does she think she's eating that food in? I had all of my children by appointment. Well, not the first one, but I had the first one in about 45 minutes. And the doctor was concerned and made me make an appointment for all the other ones so he could induce labor. He didn't want them to just end up on the sidewalk. So I had Julie on Tuesday at 4:45. I remember the look on the plumber's face when I told him that I needed to leave at 4 o'clock to have a baby. Children just sort of come out as they are. Like their personalities are already formed. And then you just watch them grow up. Like my first one, Susan, a real people pleaser, always trying to do the right thing. And then Mike, my second one, stifled somehow, stuck, afraid of something. And then Joe, he's so selfish. Just always was. And then Julie, she was a morose child. Once upon a time, a long time ago, there was a woman who was raised by Mormons and a mother that needed more from her than she could give. And so this girl grew up doing what was asked of her, doing what was expected of her. And that went on right up until she was about 25. She found herself married and with 3 children because she had done what was expected of her. And this went on and on and on until one day, at about 31, she made a choice to do something for herself. She said yes to something she wanted to do. She said yes to a man she hardly knew. Not her husband. And she said yes enough times that eventually she found herself pregnant. Now, you might want to call this a love child, but really it's a consequence, child. The consequences of her choosing what she wanted to do. So this child was brought into the world, this brown baby, raised in the remains of this family of blonde-haired and blue-eyed children. They were raised together, but not really, for this mother favored that child, held her close, and created a chasm with that favoritism, across which those three half-siblings were. Those children were the answers to questions that she had said yes to. I pretty much learned group dynamics from my family. Watch and listen. And I did. There was lots going on at the family dinner table. And for years, I couldn't even understand what they were saying. I spent a lot of time watching. Sometimes I would just watch myself in the plate glass window as I ate. Sometimes I would make eye contact with my mother. She seemed to be just sort of watching too. One night, she smiled at me and showed her teeth. And this tooth right here went up and down like this. I looked to the others to see. Had they just seen that? But they were too busy fighting over the remains of spaghetti. I looked back at her, and she was calm, as if nothing had happened. Had it happened? I looked at her, and she slowly smiled and winked at me. And then I knew that was just for me. I mean, I'm okay with it. You know, I mean, Mom asked me, she said, you know, you guys were set up by your dad, and I want to leave the house to Julie. And, you know, I said, of course, I'm totally okay with that. I mean, Bridget and I already have a house. Like, I don't know, Julie rents an apartment in San Francisco. So it seemed like a good thing for her, you know? Besides, I mean, that house, I don't want that house. There's something weird over there, you know? Right, Bridget? I mean, like, every time we would come back from being at Mom's house, we would get into a huge argument. There is something weird over there. I don't want that house. She can have it. Hey, Bridget, you need any help? Help? Bridget's putting the food on the table. Julie looks over at him and says, "Hey, Joe, maybe you should light the barbecue." That's my girl. Hey, Julie, come here. Come on, do you want to play? I learned a new card game. Do you want to play with me? Great. I mean, I don't know. Do you know it? It's called 52 Card Pickup. Excellent. Okay, so this is how it goes. You ready? Pick 'em up. Hey, Julie. Hey, come down here. Hey, you want to make $1? Yeah, come on. Look, I got $1. All you have to do, you see this pitcher of water right here? By the time that TV show is over, if you drink that whole pitcher of water, I'll give you $1. It's a half-hour TV show. That's 30 minutes. How long do you think it's going to take for you to drink that pitcher of water? Come on. Okay, great. Oh, the credits are rolling. Sorry, kid. No, I said you had to drink the whole thing. I'm not going to give you 50 cents for half the pitcher. I was clear. The whole thing, and I'll give you $1. It's like the 5th time she's had to go to the bathroom. Hey, Julie. Oh my God, where'd my endo? You're so fat. Hey, look, I know, people say when you grow up, the baby fat's going to go away, and they're right, but you know what? Your ribs right now are forming around your fat. So that when you grow up, you're going to lose that baby fat, but you're still going to look fat. You're always going to look fat. He's always been so selfish. I mean, I knew there was something not right with him. I think it was his 7th birthday. We put the cake down with the candles and everyone started singing happy birthday, and he got this look on his face. And he dove under the table and would not come out. He didn't want anyone to look at him. That's just not right. I mean, ultimately, I feel sorry for him. Thank God for Bridget. I tried to strangle my brother once. Just once. It's not like I hadn't thought about it a lot. Like when I was a kid, I mean, I knew that if I could just swing as hard as I was able, it would probably hurt him. I knew I could do it. I mean, after all, you know, Bewitched, that was my favorite TV show. I practiced with that eyebrow like Samantha. Like if I could just make it go up like that, I knew that I had those same magic powers in me. And all I had to do was actually just believe in myself and believe in those powers 100%. And if there was the tiniest shred of doubt, it wouldn't show up. But I knew that I had it in me. I just never tested it. Anyways, I tried to strangle him once. When I was 25. It was somebody's wedding. It might have been his wedding. And it had been a backyard wedding, and the sun had gone down a while ago, and we're sort of all sitting around a dimly lit living room. The keg was probably gone by then. Lots of pot. Just another family gathering. And you know, I'm sitting on one end of this long, kind of dingy, beige, floral print couch. Really doughy. You know, the kind of couch that you fall into, but you have to crawl out of. And he's sitting at the far end. And you know what? I don't really remember what he said. I mean, he might not have said anything. He might have just, looked at me or laughed at me, but whatever it was intolerable. And I lunged. And I had my hands around his neck. I mean, I was practically sitting in his lap, but I focused on my hands. And I tried to bring my fingers together around his thick neck. If I could just press my thumbs into his windpipe. I just want you to be afraid of me! He just laughed, hot air, right into my face. Years and years pass, and these children grow up. Though not really together, though in the same house. And Julie grows up believing that she is the favorite, her mother's favorite. Well, she didn't make it up. I mean, her mother did tell her so in so many words, in so many actions, and I think everyone else probably knew too. But Julie also believed that she knew the reason why she was her mother's favorite. Julie believed that she was her mother's favorite because she was smarter, more creative, funnier than those other children. That was why. But is that so? Did Julie's qualities merit her mother's favoritism? After all, what was the mother favoring? That child was the embodiment of her choice, her freedom. That perhaps was what she favored. I mean, I think, she has some issues, right? She tried to strangle me once. Tried. not very successfully. I don't know, I think she was drunk. But why me? I mean, you know what really creeped me out? Like, this was when she was in college. She came home for Christmas or something like that. And she told us about this dream that she had. Now, first of all, like, I'm going to tell you the dream, and it's fucking creepy. But the fact that she told us about it seems worse. So anyways, in college, she lived in this little cottage behind this big house. And in the big house, there was a family, a young husband and wife and their 2 children. So in her dream, as she told it to us, the dream starts after she has just murdered this whole family. Like gory blood. She's got blood on her hands. And in this dream, she is afraid because she has just done something that can't be undone. And how is she going to get out of that? Her life is ruined. This is her dream that she tells us. I mean, who has a dream about murdering a whole family? Last Christmas was the last Christmas with my mom. I mean, we knew it was going to be your last Christmas. That's why I decided to stay with them and celebrate Christmas together, because it was the last Christmas, and also because I wanted to take my mom to the Dickens Fair. You know the Dickens Fair. It's like the Renaissance Fair, except it's Christmas. You see, when I was a kid, my mom took me to the Renaissance Fair for many summers in a row. Up there in Nevada, Black Point, really hot, dusty. People running around in heavy velvet costumes, jousting, turkey legs, going to the privy. It's really just a porta potty with a bunch of burlap curtains around it. My mother loved the Renaissance Fair, and I hated it. So I thought she'd love the Dickens Fair, so we went. And on the drive home, she was kind of bringing me up to date on what Christmas was now. There wouldn't be any gift exchange, which was a relief. She turned to me and said, "Is there anything that you want for Christmas? Or ever?" Now I thought that was funny. And she was actually asking me. And I said, "Well, Mom, I mean, you're giving me that house. Really, I don't need anything else. But there's something that you could do for me. Not right now because I want to record it. But I would love for you to tell me the story of how I came to be. Like meeting my father and what happened there and finding out you were pregnant and the decisions and your divorce and all of that. Like, I've heard bits and pieces, but I want to hear the whole thing from beginning to end." She agreed. And she said, "But I will tell you one thing. Having you was the most satisfying experience I've ever had. And deciding to keep you was the best choice I ever made."